Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you, and I approved of you as my chosen instrument. It is written in the book of your life, I have appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Dear daughter, thank you for choosing to be born. I'm sorry you had to grow up without me. In my absence, I trust that you are being chiseled into the extraordinary woman of God you were called to be. I pray you make better choices than I did. Marry God's best and become the mother that I wish I had been.
This is the story of Layla.
A daughter of destiny.
At the tender age of 5, Layla had to face the harsh reality of growing up without her mother.
Originally from Western New York, she spent most of her time growing up, moving from place to place, but bringing the same baggage of her tumultuous upbringing everywhere she went. After the 9th move, she woke up one morning and realized that her father had disappeared without a trace. So many questions arose. Would he ever come back? And if so, when? What was she to do in the meantime? Would she stay home and carry on with life as usual? Or would she leave? And if so, where to? 1 month later, her father returns as if nothing had happened.
She confronts him saying, I won't live like this anymore.
He then offers a manipulative response, as if to encourage her to stay. He later disappears again, without a trace, at which point Layla solicits help from her sabda, or her grandmother,
who then initiates a court proceeding for custody, at which point her mother resurfaces for personal gain.
4 years later, now in the custody of her maternal grandparents,
Layla has to decide where her life goes from here.
There's not a question of if she'll attend university, but where.
On August 20th, 2019, she sees the sky open up in front of her, and she has an encounter with the God she had been taught about in church growing up, Adonai Elohim. From that point on, her life would never be the same. She became bold and courageous, and became heavily involved in the things of God.
Hallelujah.
With his cousin, Layla, and they've got a few things to say.
We're going to anoint her now.
That next fall, she knew she would have to consult the Lord about which university to attend. Her gaze was set on spending her university years overseas. If she was honest, despite the indescribable healing that manifested as a result of her relationship with the Lord, she had to confront the reality of driving by old houses she'd lived in, reminding her of the trauma she'd experienced, where she started protecting herself even in her mother's womb, where she woke up to the sound of shattered glass and arguing, where she carried the weight of the world, where she grew up too quickly and hadn't slowed down since, and barely said a word in the process. Though she was otherwise utterly persuaded to leave, she humbled herself before the Lord and asked him where he wanted her to attend university. He released the answer, and just like it says in the book of Hebrews, he confirmed it with signs following. At the same time, she'd begun to receive offers from universities further away. Very much conflicted at this crossroads, which path would she choose? She chose to let God write her story and attended a local university. She had no idea what was on the other side of her obedience to the voice of God. 2 years later, she got wind of children who had grown up just the way she did, maybe in worse circumstances, and she thought to herself, this is why he wanted me to stay. I'm on the other side. I know what it is to be a young girl growing up without your mother, experiencing tumultuous life circumstance, questioning your place in the world, searching. Then God intervened, and he breathed a new identity into me. She thought, if God could radically change me, surely he can use me to help them. Her heart stirring with compassion for young girls in today's generation, she started Daughters of Destiny. With with the mission of teaching young girls to embrace their God-given identity despite any adversity they may face. But this was only the beginning of the destiny, the beginning of the calling, the beginning of the warfare she would have to face behind the scenes while walking in her purpose. She got wind of her father's passing. She attended his memorial service, received his ashes, then attended university the next week as if nothing had transpired. Not because she was some unfeeling supernova, but because of the God in her. The same God who says he promises to work together everything for her good. Those things that were meant to destroy her. The adversities she would face, because she qualifies under these prerequisites. She loves God and she's called according to his purpose. Even more than a hope, I pray she doesn't let anyone or anything, not even herself, get in the way of the purpose of God on her life.